Welcome to the Hart Barbell Basement Gym and live stream. This is our official inaugural stream. Happy Canada Day to anyone out there watching. I am very excited to finally be live and here recording our first full stream. I have been battling with technology for probably about a month now, and I think that we finally got it. I'm very happy with how this looks. We're going to be able to get a workout in today and see how everything goes. We'll watch it back later. I got a shift at the bar after this at 5 p.m. Should be fun. People should be having a good time given that it is Canada Day. But this is it. So very, very happy to be here. I just want to kind of talk about maybe the gym tour to start us off. I don't know what you guys think there, but I think a gym tour to start us off makes the most sense. When I see us on Twitch, that looks pretty good there. As far as YouTube goes, can I check and see how everything's looking? Maybe. I don't know enough about YouTube. My channel. Okay, we're live. Yeah, we're definitely live. That looks great there. Thumbnails suck, but we'll get the thumbnails better as we go along here. I'm just happy that the cameras are working, the audio is working, and we're gonna leave it at that for today. But what I was experiencing was my main camera, this camera that you're seeing here, was glitching. So every 5 to 10 seconds, it was effectively glitching. Just lines pop across the screen, and it didn't look good. In between the glitches, it looked fine, but that was fairly annoying. So I know that I wanted to get that fixed, and what we did to get that fixed was we got a new camera, unfortunately. I did everything I could. I tried different USB ports, I tried different cables, I tried different settings for the image that's being outputted. I'm not super techie, so basically I just search up people on YouTube or Google it and follow simple instructions as far as what people are recommending, and anything and everything that I tried wasn't working. I probably tried about 10 to 12 different things and no go. So I bought a new camera, but it's the same brand as camera number 2, which we haven't quite seen yet. I will show you right away here. So I was familiar with the brand. It's an OBSBot camera for those of you that are wondering. I understood how to use the software and everything like that, and I'm really happy with it. I think it looks good, so no complaints. Anything can be solved with a positive attitude and more money, if you know what I mean. So this camera view right here is me in front of the computer. I'll probably hang out here in between rest periods. I'll talk to any people that we have in the chat. I don't have the chat currently displaying on the screen right now. I do have a chat box here in OBS where I should be getting all of my chats sent to, and I should be able to respond to you there. So we'll try that out for now. If we have a bunch of people watching the streams and wanting the chat to show up live on screen, I'm not opposed to it, so we can think about that a little bit more down the road. I doubt we'll get anyone watching for quite some time, so that's all right. But if and when it happens, we'll be here. Okay, let's take a spin around the gym. I'm gonna be live for about, let's say 3 hours. Let's say 3 hours, and we'll see how things go from there. So this is our main screen. Down in the bottom corner here, let's take a look at screen number 3 to start. Is our RuneScape buddy. What I'm going to need from everybody in chat is to watch our RuneScape buddy. His name is Bo, and Bo needs to be swinging that scimitar all the friggin' time. What we're doing with Bo, it's not working. Unreal. What we're doing with Bo is we are simply increasing his strength levels. We're trying to get... Oh, what the heck is going on here? None of that's working. So, yeah, all these numbers right here, we're effectively trying to train to 99. It will take a while. Okay, now it's working. And while we're working out, he's going to be hanging out and swinging at crabs. And as we train, his strength will go up. And just something for there to be on screen to fill some downtime while I think of things to talk about, or for you guys to watch while I'm working out. Okay, so we talked about scene number 1, me at the desktop here. We talked about scene number 2, which is a bigger RuneScape screen on screen with me commentary. And then screen number 2 is our home gym camera. This camera right here, as you can see, has some tracking capabilities, which is really nice. So it'll follow me around the gym. If I'm grabbing weights, it'll watch me grab weights. If I'm walking back to the cables, it'll follow me to the cables. If I walk back to the bench, it'll follow me to the bench. And as I walk back to the desktop, it'll follow me to the desktop. We'll switch our scenes back, and I'll be back talking to the camera with the big camera on. Pretty straightforward stuff. We're gonna get a workout in, like I said, and the type of training I'm going to do on streams is my regular everyday training. I like to powerlift as a training style. I will compete every now and then. I coach powerlifting. I'm a powerlifting referee, so I'll be talking a lot about that. If you have any powerlifting specific questions or just general fitness related questions, I'm happy to answer those. I don't currently work in the fitness industry, but I did work in the fitness industry for about 5 years, where I split that time as a personal trainer and a general manager of one of Canada's biggest gyms, box gyms. We had 1,800 members. It was an awesome job. It was a great community, but I've moved on to bigger and better things, in my opinion. I'm owning my own business, and that's part of what helps me do these live streams. I'm completely in control of my own schedule, and I now have time to do stuff like this. And it's something I've always wanted to do. I'll tell the story about what made me want to start streaming a little later, but I do think that we should start getting the ball rolling here, or I'll simply be talking at the camera all day long. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to get on my shoes. We're going to start off today's workout with squatting. We'll do 4x4 at 184 kilos. And then we'll do 2x5 at 131 kilos. I'll have to do the math because what you'll see soon is everything's in pound plates. So I'll have to do the math, but that is the plan for now. And let's just get rolling here. I am going to need knee sleeves today. I suppose I should grab my shoes while I'm here. So yeah, we'll throw on the knee sleeves. It's squatting a little bit heavier, nothing crazy, but generally I feel better squatting in knee sleeves. So unless coach has it written down that he wants me out of knee sleeves, I'm gonna wear them. For example, yesterday I squatted in knee sleeves. He never really specified that he wanted me in knee sleeves or not, but the weight was light enough. We were doing high bar squats, so it just felt better. I've found that since I started working with a coach, one thing that he's had me doing a lot more that I wasn't really programming for myself or maybe paying enough attention to was unequipped lifting without knee sleeves, lifting without a belt specifically, I guess is the better way to phrase it. I'm wearing a belt a lot less right now than what I was typically doing when I was programming for myself. I don't really think of my core as a weak core, to tell you the honest truth, but in the first couple weeks of working with my coach here, I've definitely noticed that I've had some abdominal soreness after workouts, especially the beltless workouts, which makes sense. But he's also had me doing a little bit of ab work as well too, which I generally skipped when I was programming for myself. So tough to say whether the soreness is from the beltless work or the direct ab work. I'd have to say a lot of it's probably from the direct ab work, but at the end of the day, I think it all probably matters and is impacting that. So we're gonna get the bench out of the way because we're squatting, so the bench obviously can't be in the powerlifting rack. Oh, what's going on? So we're gonna have to get used to this camera. It is motion tracking, it is AI, and so far so good, but from time to time it does kind of get a life of its own. So we're gonna warm up with a hip circle. This blue band is a great way to warm up your hips. Get the blood flowing for squats. Everything looks pretty good. So I did work this morning and I did do a little bit of a warm-up before I went live, so my warm-up won't be too crazy today. Don't really think I need it. I think I have a lot of movement. I do flooring for a living now. That's my business, so I'm a private contractor, mostly doing flooring installation. So I usually come on in. I have a city contract basically where I'm going into city buildings, high rises, group homes, things like that, ripping out old floors, lots of carpet, lots of lino, and swapping that out for vinyl plank is the material of choice nowadays. So it's a good job. It's fun. It's hard for sure, but it provides me the lifestyle that I want, and above all, that's most important for me. So really happy to be doing that. Yeah, so let's get the math going here, I guess. 148 kilos. 148 kilos. What do we think that is? 148 is 325. Okay, so that's not too bad. 4x4 at 325. I think that's pretty reasonable. I don't think we'll be in too rough a shape with that, but we do have to do 4x4. So let's get some warm-up sets in. Feels good to me. Gonna have to really make sure that I'm watching the camera. One nice thing about the camera is that it has a little light indicator on it. So a blue light means it's watching me. A yellow light means it's no longer watching me. And generally all I have to do is kind of get back into frame and it'll catch me again. So for warm-up, something I've been working on is speeding them up. Powerlifters tend to run slow, and I think we sometimes take advantage of that, because I don't think we need to do that all the time. And just as I finish that set, I'm wondering if I'm supposed to be doing high bar. No, just regular squat. Just regular squat, so that's good. Didn't want to have to be doing high bar squat because we've been doing a decent amount of it recently. And my form for squats is much better low bar than high bar. All right, oh, we got a little cap. Don't care. Don't care. Keep our guy moving. So no chatters yet. That's all right. I can't really tell from the screen I'm on right now. Wonder if I can just pop on in and see anything else here. Twitch. One viewer. Tough to say who that is or if they're still here. We'll take it. We will take it. As far as the YouTube version of this goes, still learning a lot of this stuff. Okay, so I got this on here right now. That's fine with me. Streaming software. Live as of now, viewer 00. Is what it is, I guess, hey? No need to worry about that. But Twitch, one viewer. YouTube, nothing. Good enough for me. Okay, so first set was 135 pounds. I think we will move into, so we're going up to 325 today. Let's say we'll do 135. Might as well do 185 here next. I've found also that keeping my face square to the camera tends to help it keep me in the frame of view and continuing to follow me. So I'm gonna be kind of awkwardly looking at it over my shoulder as I'm walking around the gym. Won't be too big of a deal, I don't think. I will say one thing about the high bar squatting that we've been doing lately is I do feel like I'm getting lower into my squat, which is really nice actually. Gives me a little bit more leeway on meet days. When the weights start getting heavy, one of the first things that tends to happen is people start to cheat their depth. So by practicing a squat at good depth, it's going to give you the best chance of squatting to good depth on meet day. And yeah, we're definitely keeping the pace up here. I didn't grab water, so I'm gonna have to grab water at some point in time today. But that's all right. That's just upstairs. I just need a cup. Won't have to go far. Okay, we'll do another triple here. All right, so not too bad at all. Yeah, Canada Day. Anyone out there Canadian and celebrating Canada Day? My family is actually out at the lake today. They are probably watching the parade and maybe going out on the boat, which I'm a little jealous. I'm missing that. But I did want to get some work in today, so I got my work in this morning, which was good, and I am going to get some more work in this evening. Because when you work for yourself, unlike my fiance, who works for the government, she gets paid when she takes time off, and I get nothing when I take time off. But that's the life I signed up for, and I do prefer it that way. But it means that I took Saturday off, I took Sunday off, I took Monday off. Canada Day's on a Tuesday. I don't know, I kind of feel like I need to get in some work on a Tuesday. I'm a little bit over floats and parades. Doesn't really do it for me. Fireworks doesn't really do it for me. Boating in nice weather certainly does it for me. So that's the part I'm missing, but again, equally excited to be here streaming and testing this out. So, okay, I think we'll throw on another 25 and get one more warm up in. We'll have to take these clips off. We'll do one warm up here at 275. I think we'll do one more single at 315, and then we'll add that last 10 pounds, and we'll go up to 325, and we should be ready to go. 4x4 seems pretty reasonable. So I tend to take my warm-ups pretty minimally. There's no need to gas yourself out. You have lots of work ahead of you. So I tend to prefer more sets as opposed to more reps with my warm-up, because reps tend to gas me out, and I'm already tired enough. All right, RuneScape buddy is still going. I really wish I had a aggro timer and could figure that out. Any RuneScapers in the chat that ever know how to set up an aggro timer, I'd love to know what I'm doing wrong, because I've tried it a few different times and I just can't seem to figure it out. So yeah, one last set here. How about I do one last set here? We'll add weight to 325 and we'll take a little break. And I'll tell you a funny story about work this morning where I really embarrassed myself, and honestly could have been a bad situation, but it ended up being not too bad, so I shouldn't complain too much. That's where we need a producer here. Probably don't need a producer, I just gotta remember to click my buttons. But I'm certainly gonna forget to do it as we go along this journey of streaming. All right, what do you think? How'd that feel? I think that was probably all right. Ugh. Maybe felt a little heavier than I would prefer. I wish this camera had like a tag, and instead of needing to see my face for motion sensing, it could just track the tag. I feel like that would be pretty handy. Okay, so that appears to be 325. 325 or 148 kilograms. That's what we have. So you'd think that recording from 3 different angles would be enough, but I like to take my form videos from right in this corner here, and then it tends to be an angle of my squat, bench, and deadlift, and that would be a good view to take your lifting footage from so that your coach can see everything that they need to. So as you guys can see, I'm gonna make this bigger. The crabs stop attacking you every so often. It's about 15 minutes. In this case, every single monster is a little bit different in this game, I think. I could be wrong, but the crabs, anyway, will automatically attack you for about 15 minutes, and at that point in time you have to leave the area and come back in, and it resets their aggro, which is aggression, and that keeps them angry at you. So that way I don't have to do anything. I can simply just let him do his thing. Okay, so first set of 4, we'll get in pretty quick here. take a little bit of a longer rest. And see how that feels. Still says we have one viewer. I'm curious to see if that one viewer is just my account watching. I don't know if I am watching. Because what I'm doing is I'm on my Hart Barbell Twitch account, and I'm on the Stream Manager tab, which I'd have to believe is not an actual viewer, but it also probably is a viewer, because if it isn't a viewer, then that means there's been one person watching this entire time, which I don't think is the case. So if you are that one viewer and you're lurking here, just let me know, because I'd love to know if there's somebody watching. But let's be real, I don't think that that's the case. So yeah, what we typically do here is we end up setting this camera off in this corner. You probably won't see me. I don't know if it'll stick to me. Nah, of course it won't. Why would it? Maybe I'll adjust the field of view one of these days. I didn't actually think I would need it to go that far, but it does go that far. But now that we're doing this, I suppose I set up my camera here. We'll take that from there. We'll get back into view here. Yeah. All right. See if that guy will actually watch that. There we go. Okay, so first set of 4. All right, 4 reps. That seemed pretty manageable. We'll set up our whiteboard here. We've got 4 reps going. And get back. To our main view. So our main view says unstable, average stream bitrate too high. Average stream bitrate too high. See. Okay, good news is it's one of the first things to come up when I type in those words. A stream with a bitrate that is too high can cause buffering and playback issues for viewers with slower internet connections or old devices. It's important to find the right balance between video quality and accessibility for your audience. I'll have to double check that. I think I have that set for 600 or 6,000. We'll watch it back. We'll see what it looks like. First time chatter. Probably a bot. Best viewers on streamboo.com. Maybe I shouldn't even read that. Yeah, I don't know. Are you human? I doubt it. Thanks for the chat either way. Yeah. Not likely human. Okay, so one thing that I like to do is I'm old school, and I like to set a timer for my rest periods because I have a bad tendency of over-resting. I think I talked about it earlier. So one way to actually keep a normal rest period is to use one of these timers, and that can help keep you honest, because I am not honest. I'd be surprised if I didn't track. There's a lot of times, even with me setting a stopwatch, I'll look down at the stopwatch, I'm at 7 minutes. I'm like, ooh, don't know if we're training anymore or just BSing. So for this guy, this is heavy enough that I think I'm going to take a 4-minute rest. I think 4 minutes is reasonable. And we'll go from there. Okay, so I do have time to tell the story from work this morning. I got an invoice, or a work order rather. What information is on the work orders is obviously the work that needs to be done. We needed to rip out the existing floor and base and replace it with new vinyl plank and base. So okay, that's straightforward. That's what I do 100% of the time, basically. So I got to the unit. I have a key fob that lets me into the apartment building. I key fobbed into the apartment building, had to go up to the 14th floor. This is funny too, if none of you have ever seen this. Back in the day, they were really superstitious with their building construction, because this is a 13-floor building. But even though there's 13 floors, they don't actually call the 13th floor the 13th floor. They skip the 13th floor and go straight from 12 to 14. So there's no such thing as the 13th floor, even though it's the 13th floor. But they'll label it the 14th floor just because bad luck reasons, which is super goofy. The apartment I was looking for was on the 14th floor. I went in, I got to the front door, and typically what they'll do is they'll have a contractor lock on that for us. And the contractor lock has a key, which I have, and I can let myself in and out of the unit and make sure that everything's secure. Every now and then, caretakers won't do that, in that they change out the doorknobs with a contractor lock. They just leave the existing lock on there. And what happens is they might just leave the door unlocked for me, which is fine. The building's still really secure. It's an old folks building, so the chances of crime, theft, anything like that, really, really low. So that's just at the discretion of the caretaker more often than not. So anyway, I get to the front door, no contractor lock. Okay, that's fine. This is my first time to this unit, so I wasn't certain that it was going to be unlocked. But I knocked quick, grabbed the handle, pushed myself through, and the door cracks open maybe about 3 inches. And someone starts yelling at me from the opposite side, from within the apartment. Whoa, 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 wait. I'm like, okay, super sketchy. So I pull the door back and I say, hi, I'm with Regina Housing. I'm here for some work that was ordered. And I pop on in, and this apartment is completely occupied. It's an older gentleman. He's in a chair. He is not moved out in the slightest. And my work order said that the unit was vacant, so I wasn't expecting anyone in there. So I almost walked in on a guy. Thank goodness he wasn't naked or doing something weird, because that would have been even more awkward. But ended up walking around. He wanted to show me some of his floor in his kitchen that could be repaired. Probably won't get done unless Regina Housing wants to do it, which I doubt they will. Maybe I shouldn't say Regina Housing. Either way, we'll clip that out in the future, or we'll get better at not saying that. Good thing no one's watching. And so yeah, he showed me some spots on his floor. I told him, sorry for the inconvenience, and I got the heck out of there. So all in all, nothing really happened other than I walked into somebody random's house, uninvited. Could have been a lot worse. I'm surprised he wasn't pissed off with me, but he was a happy old dude, so no harm there. But got the heck out, called her a day, came here, and decided that I'd load up the stream because my camera came in today, so I knew I wanted to at least test it out. So, can you guys see that? 5 minutes. I told you guys it'd be 4 minutes, and we're a minute over budget. Very, very typical. The guy could definitely use a chair for a lot of this, but I think we're gonna try and stay upright. I won't try and breathe into the microphone too loudly because I think overall this will be better than alternative of me just sitting down there and being lazy. Okay, halfway done. 2 sets. You guys might be able to see it from where you're at right now, but I have this whiteboard in the back here, and I have these little magnets. And what I do is when I finish a set, I move it from the sets remaining to the sets complete. Might seem like a little overkill, but it's very hard to keep track of your sets when you powerlift. Sometimes you get too much blood to the dome, and you get forgetful or a little bit brain dead. And a lot of times you're doing a lot of sets. Hey, it's not unheard of for you to do 6 to 8 sets of a particular exercise in a given workout. So, when you get between sets 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's super easy to get lost in what set you're at. So those magnets make it pretty easy for me to manage that and stay on track. Yeah, seems to be going pretty well. I suppose what I could do is I could go set up the fiance's YouTube account upstairs and get that in here as a viewer and see if that pops up. Maybe I will do that really quick and see how that works. I'm gonna take off my hat. I still don't know if the microphone disconnects. All right, so it definitely looks bright up there on YouTube. Yep, live viewers, 1. Sick. Okay, cool. So there's a live viewer up there, which is nice. Fudging the system a bit, but that's totally all right. And then we'll have Twitch on here, which I think will give us 1 viewer by the looks of it. And we'll get in our 4th set, or our 3rd set rather, pretty quickly. So I was actually refereeing a powerlifting meet this week. It was in Saskatoon, which was pretty fun. It was at the Sutherland Town Hall, a meet called the Bridge City Classic. It was a great meet. It was a little packed. The facility was maybe 25% too small. If we had a little bit of extra space, it would have went a long way. But all in all, it was a good time. I love getting out on the platform and refereeing. It's one of the best seats in the house. There was a lot of good lifters. I had some friends lifting in that meet in particular, so it was cool to see them do well. A couple of them had been returning after pretty long layoffs from the sport, and the one I'm talking about in particular ended up performing pretty well from his perspective. So I was happy for him for that. One of my old coworkers from the gym that I used to manage, not specifically my gym, but one of the gyms in Saskatoon specifically, he competed. So that gym actually did a good job of getting different facilities together to meet each other and bounce ideas off of one another. So got to see some of the old coworkers, which was nice. One of them competing, one of them doing pretty well. But I was late. I was late, which was super, super awkward. So I'll tell that story. But I gotta get in another set here. Okay. One last set. Bo, what are you doing, man? Guys, you gotta tell me when Bo is slacking. All right, and we're back. Okay. Oh. Tired. So after we're done these squats, we're gonna have to do some Romanian deadlifts for 4x8. 4x8. So I think I'll add weight from what I did last week, because that ultimately felt a little light. I was kind of dogging it a little bit, but that's fine. Still getting used to the program. We're on to week 3 of the program. I should actually send coach some money, because I pay him on the 1st of the month, so I should probably send him some money. Okay. So yes, I was late for the powerlifting meet. It's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to write my stuff down, or I'm gonna forget all the time. So This meet in particular, every single time I've done a meet in Saskatoon, I've always done it at one particular location, and it was with the same powerlifting team and community that this one was hosted by. And anyway, we kind of putzed on our way to the city. It's about a 2-hour drive from Regina to Saskatoon, and drove down from Regina early enough to walk around the mall, get in some lunch, and then we left lunch. And we left directly from lunch to the gym that I thought the powerlifting meet was going to be at. But instead, we pulled up. I didn't really bring a bag to swap out clothes or anything like that. You have to be dressed up in a blazer, dress pants, dress shoes, tie. That's just the uniform of the referees in powerlifting. So I had Alyssa drop me off, my fiance, and I told her, I was like, hey, I'm going to go in, I'm going to change, and then I'm going to come out and I'm going to give you my gym clothes that I was basically walking around. It's just a shorts and a t-shirt type thing. And you can take that and then you can go take off. She was going to go to the bookstore and grab herself a book and read and have a coffee. So grab my suit, throw it over my shoulder, walk into the gym, open up the door, walk in, and there's not a sniff of a powerlifting meet happening. It's just an empty gym. Or, well, not an empty gym, there's people working out, but certainly not a space that looked like it was hosting an event. So right away I'm like, oh, this is a little awkward. And from the front, you can't necessarily see the back left corner. And the back left corner is where that meet had happened last time. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just all really refined to the back corner. So I walked through the gym to the back corner and took one peek around that corner, and nothing's changed. It is their regular Olympic lifting area, platforms and weights, just as they are on any other day of the week. And right then I was like, uh-oh, because I don't know where the event is, and I also don't know how far away I am from the powerlifting meet. So quickly I pull up my phone, I go onto the SAS Powerlifting website, go to their calendar events, and it turns out it's not at Rise Gym, it is at Sutherland Town Hall. Okay, Google Sutherland Town Hall, 12 minutes, okay. Not so bad, could be worse. Hop in the vehicle, get Alyssa to rip me 12 minutes across town to Sutherland Town Hall. I run on in, I get changed. I don't even know where the setup really is because I've never been to this building, but long story short, I finally find my way to the back of the room. There's a stage, a back room behind the stage. That's where I was supposed to be. And my reffing partner, there's 3 of us technically, but Nathan was there, set up at the table, had probably checked in about half of the people already without me there, so felt pretty bad leaving him hanging on there, but he's a total pro. He's a national level referee. He knows what he's doing, so he got it done without me. I popped on in, I kind of got finished up with him, alleviated a little bit of pressure from the line that had been built up while I wasn't there. We got weigh-ins done, and we started lifting. All in all, not too big of a deal, but it was awkward because I certainly didn't feel very professional. Happy Canada Day from this lousy American. Thank you. Happy Canada Day to you. I doubt you're a lousy American. Who really cares at the end of the day? Despite what's going on in today's day and age, you guys are our neighbors, so I don't think you guys are lousy. I'm actually going to go to America for the first time this year in September to check out an NFL football game. I've never been there before. And I have a few of my friends actually like, oh, should you be going to America right now? I'm like, yeah, we're going to do it anyway. What's the worst that could happen? Because I have an opportunity to go to a football game, and I'm going to take advantage. But yeah, thanks for wishing me a happy Canada Day there, Huffle 200. I do need to get my last set in here, so I'm going to get that in, and we'll be right back as soon as we're finished this up. All right, all 4 sets done at that weight. We're gonna have to drop her down to 131 kilograms, Canadian units, or for our American friend, 290 pounds. We'll get 2 more sets of 5 in, and that'll be all the squatting for today. So we'll get that changed out. 290 pounds. I suppose we'll take the plates off, add 25s and 10s. No, not quite. It's all right. Oh, okay, so 290 pounds. This is 275. We'll add 5s to each side, get us to 285. And another 2.5 pounds on each side to get us to 290. We'll take a quick break and we'll get that set in. Let's say in about 3 minutes time. Yeah, camera moves with me. I thought I did pretty good. I'm actually not very techie, but I've spent my time doing my homework. It's an OBSBot camera, actually. So the webcam is an OBSBot camera, and the gym view that you've seen there is also an OBSBot camera. Tiny to light, I think, is the one out on the gym floor, but it follows you. It's AI motion sensing. It's pretty cool. Whoa, do you think you can handle the little ones? I mean, they look heavy. Solid steel, right? 2.5 pounds? Whew. But yeah, I actually kind of stole this whole streaming setup from one of my old coworkers who I used to work with back in Calgary. I had moved from Calgary back to Saskatchewan, and obviously didn't see the folks that I was working with in Calgary very often because I was a whole province away, and he had since quit the gym I was working at and set up a stream like this in his basement, and he had set up a moving camera, which I thought was pretty cool. I've kind of taken a look on Twitch, on YouTube, and some of the people that are streaming fitness content, and I didn't necessarily see a moving camera. Not that that's anything special. If you can get a good angle at the people lifting, I think that that's all that really matters, but I knew it's something that I wanted. It doesn't cost too much more than what a regular camera is nowadays, so you know, what's an extra 50 bucks? Anything can be solved with a positive attitude and more money. Oh, and our RuneScape buddy is not working again. Do you play RuneScape there, Huffle200? Have you ever played RuneScape? Maybe not. I don't necessarily play a lot of RuneScape nowadays, but what I do is I thought it'd be fun to have in the corner of our stream. One kind of has some volume or some music to be playing along with the stream, because I'm not too certain about how the copyright and stuff like that works on here right now. So whatever. This is some background noise that can kind of simplify things for me right now. And, you know, seems like all the videos people are posting nowadays, they got another video on screen of someone playing a game right now just to keep people entertained through the dead space. So I thought that my little friend Bo here chopping at sand crabs would at least be something while I work out. Okay, so... Oh, and Huffle started following me. Thank you for the follow, Huffle. Sorry if I missed that earlier. I probably did. Yeah, Huffle started following me. Another one. Nevmos started following me. That's pretty cool. Thank you, guys. Okay, we're cruising. Hopefully the stream is alright on your guys' end. I know for me, when I looked at it upstairs on the TV, it seemed to be pretty bright. On my end, it actually looks good, to tell you the honest truth, but that doesn't necessarily translate to your guys' TVs, I suppose, or your phone, whatever you're watching off of. Okay. Okay, so let's get that the first set of 5 in at 290 pounds. I'll set up my second camera here for my form check videos. All right. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do this guy for 5 reps, 2 reps of 5. How's that look? Looks good to me. All right, first set down, only one more to go, should be pretty simple. That feels light, that feels good. I'm not gonna complain about that. Yeah, funny how taking, what is that, 35 pounds off? Down 325 down to 290 makes a huge difference. Because that certainly felt a heck of a lot lighter. I don't know if anyone out there watching, to go one kind of cool thing to go along with Canada Day for us Canadians is it's also NHL Free Agency Day. So I know hockey isn't as big down south of the border, but in Canada obviously hockey is popular. And what happens on July 1st is that's the first day of the NHL calendar year. And anyone who's not currently under contract moving forward into the next season becomes a free agent, and a bunch of transactions take place in the NHL. So you get to see where all the new free agents are going. You get to see who your team is able to keep, who they're not able to keep, who they're able to add. So it's a pretty exciting day. As far as today goes, I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan, unfortunately. They're hard to watch recently, but they are my team, so I gotta stick with it. And we were able to re-sign Brock Besser, which I wasn't expecting us to do. So I'll call that a win. I'll call that a win. Our RuneScape buddy's already done. Is that 15 minutes? No, he's still swinging. He's still swinging. Got a little worried there. Okay. All right, what else? What else? Any questions, anyone out there? Any fitness related questions? That's all right if not. That's all right if not. So, I do have to go to work tonight. Like I said, I was in between jobs today and I did have time to work out, so I decided to stream a bit here. I got my new camera here at the webcam, and that was kind of what was holding me back from starting streaming, because the camera that I had was glitching out on me in all my testing. And I tried 100 different things, couldn't get it to work. Ultimately, I decided I do think it's the camera that's the issue. Got this camera, seems to be functioning perfectly, so I am happy with that. But I did my flooring this morning. We're working out this afternoon. As soon as I'm done the workout, I'll get a meal in, and then we're heading to our part-time job tonight. I have a part-time job as a bartender just for funsies. I do think that Canada Day should be a busy day at the bar, make some decent money. People should be in a good mood. We'll see how that goes. But I'll be there till 3 a.m. unfortunately, maybe later depending on how crazy it gets. And then we'll be back to work tomorrow. I'm not likely going to be doing much midday streams. This was just kind of a happy coincidence. But if you do like what we're doing here, if you do like hanging out while I'm working out and watching along, I will be doing this Friday evenings is the plan. Friday evenings, 7 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time, and probably running for about 3 hours. Not likely 4 hours, but 3 hours makes sense to me. So 7 till 10, and we'll kind of make it a regular thing. You can pop on in, just watch and hang out if that's what you like to do. It can be a guaranteed time for you to come in, ask some questions about training. Lots of options. If you like watching RuneScape Buddy down in the corner here every Friday evening, heck, you can come in and do that. I don't mind at all. So, yeah, what do we think? We're probably at a 5-minute rest period there. I'd say so. Let's go get in another set. All right. Okay. Not so bad. That's the end of squats. And we're going to have to move on to RDLs. So we'll start by stripping the bar here. And I think if I just slow down my walking, that's actually probably the biggest part of the issue with the camera tracking. I think I can keep up as long as I putz. tend to be a fast mover, so it's not the most natural thing for me. But if I just strut along, looks like it should follow me fine if I'm at that pace. It'd almost be nice to have the chat up on the TV here. That would actually be pretty cool. Maybe I'll look into doing that, because I do find myself looking over to the desktop monitor to see if a new chat has come in, and I can't necessarily tell that from all the way in the gym. Oh, that's got one. Harder than it looks. Harder than it looks. Get our deadlift jack out. The deadlift jack was one of the best investments I made. Can't really say I even made it. It was a gift from my fiance for Christmas that I actually ended up ruining for myself now that I think of it. I had been asking for a deadlift jack for Christmas, and the deadlift jack went on sale maybe about November. And I came home that day after having bought it online, telling Alyssa, hey, good news, I bought a deadlift jack. It was on sale. And she just looks at me, pissed off, rightfully so. And she's like, and why would you buy a deadlift jack a month before Christmas? And I said, because it's on sale. Turns out she had bought it for me, and I had ruined our Christmas present. But who could have guessed? Is that really my fault? Probably yes. Probably yes. Oh, okay, so we're gonna swap out our shoes. I like to squat in heels and deadlift in flats, so we'll get that swapped out. Won't need any knee pads. There's not much knee flexion in a deadlift, so really shouldn't be much of any in an RDL specifically. So the knee pads aren't, knee pads, I keep calling them knee pads. Knee sleeves aren't really necessary. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's still Still doing all right. So we are going to be lifting 4 by 8. Then I gotta do barbell rows too. Whew. And shrugs and pull-ups. Oh, that's gonna be tough. Okay, that's all right. We can do it. We can do it. How's Buddy doing? I figured. Slacking again, Bo. Bo is slacking again. Okay, so we're gonna have to put on a little bit more weight here. This certainly isn't quite enough. $195, I think, shall do. All right, 195 pounds, 4 by 8, 190 pounds, 4 by 8. Should be pretty simple. All right, not too bad. Still pretty light, actually. I can probably still afford to raise the weight a little bit, but we'll leave it there for today, and that'll give us some room to grow as the weeks go on. So for Canada Day, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to participate in many of the activities today, being with everything I got on my list today. The family is down at the lake. They've probably already seen the parade. The parade's probably already started. And they're likely going to go out on the pontoon boat, have some drinks, maybe try and catch some fish. I'll probably check out the fireworks later tonight. So I'm definitely missing out on a good time. But I did choose to be in town today, getting some work done. So I did it to myself. I used to manage a golf course actually before I started my business. And we celebrated Canada Day out there as well too. We did fireworks, we had a pool party, we did all kinds of cool stuff. But because it was a golf course, it also had a campground. We had about 300 campsites out there, and these were all leased campsites, so people really made it their home. They had some really, really good setups. But they also all had a golf cart basically on site. They would drive around the park in the golf cart. They would take the golf cart to the golf course and golf in their golf cart. And what we would do is we would do a golf cart parade, which ended up being pretty cool, actually. That parade honestly was better than most parades I see in the city, just because when you're only dealing with a golf cart, you have to get a heck of a lot more creative than when you can pull a whole trailer. Yes, you can be creative with how large the trailer is and make a lot more happen, but the fact that you're confined to a golf cart was really cool. So we had one family that always went out every single year and really did like 10 out of 10 golf carts. One year they did a Gotham Batman style golf cart where they outfitted the entire golf cart with like a big cardboard shell that was a city skyline, and they all came out in Batman characters. That was really cool. They did a similar thing the next year where they made it into a big mystery machine, the van from Scooby-Doo, and they all came out as Scooby-Doo characters. They were pretty cool. And then there were some more people that did some more simple designs, turned it into things like a beaver for Canada Day was really cool. One family turned it into like unicorns, crap like that. So I probably will miss that. Now that I'm not at the golf course, I'm 2 years removed from the golf course. I likely won't get to see those ever again because I can't see myself going out to the golf course for Canada Day, but that's all right. They post pictures and stuff like that, so I can take a look at that because I still follow them all on social media. But we are training today. If you guys have any training questions, leave them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. Part of me streaming is wanting to answer those fitness related questions. Something that I did for a long time when I was a personal trainer and a general manager of a gym. And this stream right here is not only good accountability for me to get in my workouts, but also some time for me to kind of connect with the fitness community that I don't really have anymore, that I miss spending some time with. So hoping that people will hop on in the chat, watch the stream, ask some questions about their own training, and we can bounce back and forth like that as we're in these streams. Okay, set number 2. All right. Two sets down. It's 2 o'clock. If I can finish this up by 3 p.m., I can eat, have a nap, get back to work this evening. It's a good day. It's a good day. I'm so excited that I'm finally live. I've been putting it off forever. And now that we're live, it's kind of just game time. I gotta make it happen. And go from there. Bitrate 7,800. Average stream bitrate too high. So yeah, I think that's maybe saying that I should bring it down to 600 or 6,000. 7,800 versus 6,000. I think that if I bring it down to 6,000, that might help out a wee bit. And we'll see how that goes. I'll watch it all back. I'll watch it all back on YouTube or Twitch. No, I can't watch it back on Twitch. I'll watch it back on YouTube and see what it looks like. And we'll go from there. Okay, I should get a camera. Out for my next set. How's your RuneScape buddy doing? Is he still swinging? He's still swinging, but he is small. You guys can barely see him. That's all right. Okay, so Twitch seems to be doing all right. YouTube seems to be doing all right. I think once we're done with that, we'll see if we can clip things up and share them to some websites. See how that goes. Do I make a TikTok is the question. How many of you use TikTok? I've been putting it off. I'm a 33-year-old man. I don't know if I really want to get into that, but it's pretty easy to set up a live stream to TikTok through the OBS nowadays, and can post some clips on there, which might help get people tuning into the stream. So I think that might be a good idea. But again, this is the first stream. I don't think we really need to worry too much about that. So we'll get one more set of RDLs in here. After RDLs, we'll do some barbell rows. If you're in the chat, have any questions about training or what we're doing, don't be afraid to ask. Be happy to answer that. But let's get our next set done. Camera doesn't want to follow me. Probably shouldn't even have done that. I'm going to go out of view here pretty quick. Get that set up, get that recorded. Pop out to here. All right, 3 sets down, 1 more remaining. CM Punk Fitness, thank you. Are you a wrestling fan, CM Punk? Do you recognize this t-shirt? Thank you for the home gym compliment. I've spent about a year and a half building out this home gym, so I'm pretty proud of it. It's, oh wow, bumped up a bunch of viewers. Okay, cool. Welcome everybody. This is the first stream and we're having a really good time. But CM Punk, are you a wrestling fan? Did you watch Night of Champions? What'd you think of the match? And what did you think of this person at WrestleMania? I think people are usually pretty polarized by him. Either they love him or they hate him. So we're about halfway through our workout. What we're going to do here is we're going to be doing strength training workouts. I do lots of work with the barbells. I do have cables, I do have dumbbells, so I'll do a little bit of that stuff as well too towards the end of workouts. I hang out, I work out. If you guys have any fitness related questions, let me know and I will do my best to answer them. I worked in the fitness industry for about 5 years, being whether it be a personal trainer or a general manager. And since I've left the gym, I've really missed the gym community. I liked walking around the gym, talking to people. If I, left my office and went wandering the floor, I knew, 10 to 15 people at any time in the gym, and I could talk to them about their fitness goals and what they needed and if I could help them out at all. And I miss that. So really happy to get back on this in some way, shape, or form. And, time will come. But very good time. All right. Oh, and RuneScape Buddy is not doing his job again. So our RuneScape Buddy's name is Bo, and technically Bo is supposed to be swinging at crabs. But he's not necessarily doing so. Okay. Couple more minutes, we'll do our last set. Might as well do that now. Ugh. All right. Get everything unloaded here, and then we'll start barbell rows. I barbell rowed at 175 last time, I believe. And 5x4. That was 4x6, and this is 5x4. So less reps for more sets. Less reps for more sets. What do I have? 185. I think I could probably do 185 for a set of 4. That makes sense to me. That's a 10-pound increase over my sets of 6. Should be warmed up enough to jump right into that. I'm fine with that. Okay, well, okay, so we're doing pretty good. Pretty happy with this as a first stream. A reminder, if you're watching, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be streaming workouts every Friday at 7 p.m. CST. We're going to be doing about 3 hours worth of workouts and chatting. I'm going to be picking a random day out of my weekly training routine and doing it live for you here on stream. I'm going to be doing my best to help you out with all of the questions you might have, hopefully entertain you a little bit. And it's a good way for me to stay accountable, a good way for me to get in a good full workout. I respond pretty well to some harassment, so if you guys want to give me the gears as I'm working out, tell me how much my form sucks or how I'm doing the wrong things, I'm certainly open to that. It won't bother me a heck of a lot, but you know, every now and then I might get a good piece of advice, because usually people aren't just trashing you for the sake of trashing you. some of what they say, at least. There's a little kernel of truth in everything, so love to hear from you. So yeah, what do we got here? We got barbell rows. We're gonna do 5 sets of 4 at 185 pounds. I also have shrugs at 5 sets of 4. So I think maybe what I'll do is I'll pair that with a dumbbell shrug. That seems to make sense to me. 5 sets of 4. It's gonna have to be pretty heavy. It's probably gonna have to be the whole rack. Yeah, I think so. But I would like to videotape this. No problem. No problem at all. Pair that up with some shrugs here. I think, oh, I didn't even change the camera angle. That's all right. I think this will wander on over to here. Will that stay on me? That's not heavy enough. I haven't done shrugs in forever. Well, we're gonna go up a level pretty quick. Should we watch our buddy go up a level? Should happen pretty soon here. Yeah, it'll happen in our rest period here. We can make it work. So I'm definitely going to try streaming under the category RuneScape with the title Strength Skilling and Strength Skilling IRL, because this is certainly strength skilling here in RuneScape for those of you who know RuneScape, and I like to think of the gym as strength skilling IRL. So I think we'll definitely try that out in the future. I'm currently streaming to health and fitness, or fitness and health. And then on YouTube, I am streaming to sports. So I'm not too sure if those are the right categories for this kind of stream. Think it kind of makes sense, right? 277 remaining. What is that? That's another 4 crabs? 4 more crabs. 4 more crabs. And then what level will we be at? We will be at level 69, hey? Should probably change over to strength instead of defense. There we go. You advanced to defense to level 69. You've advanced your combat level to level 86. Whew. Big time. Big time. Bo is making it. Okay, 2:15 here roughly. We'll finish up here. This is going to end our stream after these exercises here. So it's been a pretty good day. Yeah, I think it's been pretty successful. We've had a couple people drop by, say hello. We've gotten a few followers. Sure, why not? That seems pretty good. I might go check out CM Punk Fitness here and see if he has a page. That sounds like a lot of fun. He obviously likes wrestling and fitness, so we'll see what that is. Because, yeah, couldn't have asked for a much better stream. I suppose I should watch it back before I toot my horn a little bit too hard here. But all in all, I think we'll make it to about a 2-hour stream and get out of here and call that a test, because ultimately this was intended to be a test. I tried many times in the last couple weeks to make this work and go live, but this camera that you're looking at right now just wouldn't cooperate. So it's not the camera you're looking at right now, it's the view that you're looking at right now. I had to replace the camera. And this one seems to be doing the trick, so we did it. We did it. What can I say? I'd like to give myself an A+. All right, how about round 2? Whew. Okay. I think we're definitely saying okay a little bit too much. Should probably think of something to end an exercise to other than okay. It just seems like the right thing to say. I think I probably should videotape my last set of barbell rows. Let's see how these guys all turned out. Did I even edit? I didn't edit a single video. That's alright. We don't need to do a heck of a lot of editing on screen. It does help me out though. Every little bit of time saving counts. We're all busy people. So is Bo slacking again? Every goddamn time, Bo. You guys need to remember to let me know that I need to be making sure Bo is getting his work done. He's never gonna make it to level 99 if you guys don't let me know that he's slacking. He needs to be chopping at all times. But that's alright, you guys will get better. Not my fault. Certainly not my fault. So bitrate, up to 8,000. Interesting. Do we think a speed test will screw this up while we're doing it? We are running a speed. We're hardwired in. We should have pretty good connections and internet. I don't know if this will be any different than what it was the last time I checked it out. But let's just see. Again, I'm not very techie, so I don't necessarily know how this all works. I kind of just find some people I trust and... Ooh, okay, so that upload... needs to be around 10, I believe. Everything seems to be all right. Don't know if I can complain too much. Seems to be all right with me. But maybe this should go down to 6,000 for next stream and see what that says. I think that's probably worth testing and see where we go from there. Okay. All right, pop you back here. All right. All right. We'll unrack the weights. Stick around and chat for a few more minutes. And that'll likely be the end of the stream for today. I'll go have some food, maybe have a nap. We'll head to work this afternoon. Ugh. Okay. So that wraps up the workout for today. I think we got a lot accomplished. We got all our squats, deadlifts, and rows in. We leveled up a defense level with Bo. We had a few people pop on into the stream and say hi. A couple extra followers never hurts. So I think that's a pretty good first stream. I think we're going to have a pretty good time with this. And when I say we, that's the royal we. I think I'm going to have a pretty good time with this. I love the idea of streaming the workout. One, I get super lazy, okay? So I know for a fact that when I have some built-in accountability, I work harder. And when these videos are going out live and there's people tuning in periodically to see them and they're recorded and archived onto websites, I'm going to work harder because I'm putting that out into the world. I want to represent myself in the best light possible. I think it's going to be really good for training. And at the same time, I've said it before, I've spent this 2 years building out this gym. Spent the last 2 years building out this gym. I got the best equipment I wanted. I've set everything up so that my style of workouts are possible in a home gym. The one thing that I miss when working out in a home gym is the community. When I was working out in a commercial gym, I loved having those people in the gym that I knew, those familiar faces that I could talk to help keep me motivated. But now that we're in the home gym, that obviously doesn't exist. So going live and having this out there in the world, I'm hoping that people kind of tune in and hang out, push me along the way. I can answer any health, fitness related questions you have. I could just goof around and we can have a good time. But that is our very first stream. Thank you for anyone who tuned in today. Happy Canada Day to all the Canadians out there. Happy belated, or not belated, happy early 4th of July to any Americans out there. I hope that you all have a great week. A reminder again that we're going to be doing these on a weekly basis. Friday evening, 7 p.m. CST. We'll be doing about a 3-hour stream, I'm thinking. This one took about 2 hours, so maybe they will be a little bit shorter than 3 hours, but I think I'll also hang out a little later, especially once we start getting some people in the chat, actually asking some questions, actually kind of having a back and forth conversation instead of me just talking to the camera, talking to empty space. We did get some people into the chat today, and that actually was super fun. I wasn't really expecting that for day one, but we're going to call it there. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you follow the stream, like us on YouTube, whatever I'm supposed to say, please do that. And you guys have yourself a good day.